like money, motherfucker? Money be green. Money feel like money. That shit look green to you?
All right, we got a massive fight for you this weekend. Before we get right into that, though, just want to say if you like the content that we're putting out, if you're watching these videos, please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps the channel grow. We're also on the audio side. So if you got a couple of minutes, leave a rate and review, or, drop us a 5-star as well. And if you've already done that, thank you so much. We do appreciate you. All right, well, this is a fight that I've been really excited for. When I took a look at the summer calendar, I was like, this one's going to be a banger. And obviously super hyped for Bud and Spence because that was the one. But I'm also really, really hyped for this fight. It's a world title fight for the WBO World Super Feather. Oscar Valdez and Emanuel Navarrete. Now, straight up on the money line, Oscar Valdez is actually the favorite at minus 176, and they got Navarrete at a plus 138. Bryan, how are you betting this?
Oh, man, this is tough. I went back and forth on this more than I went back and forth on Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, really because I didn't go back and forth at all. I thought Terrence Crawford was winning the whole way. And you know that. I'm not just saying that now because people are doing an overcorrection after the fight, being like, oh, it was a mismatch, whatever, like that kind
of thing. It really wasn't, though. It really wasn't.
Yeah, it's like, no, Terrence Crawford's that good. Some of us have been trying to tell y'all, even when he was at top rank. And some people didn't want to believe it. But anyway, that's not what this is about. This is about Oscar Valdez and Emanuel Navarrete. Navarrete, the champion, who is an underdog, which you don't get a lot in boxing, especially with someone of his resume. 3-weight world champion, prolific power puncher, very much a wild card in terms of his conditioning, which it almost bit him in the ass against Liam Wilson. But I've been leaning more often just Oscar Valdez wins this by decision. I just trust his boxing ability more. I think that he's going to fight a smarter fight. I do have reasons to doubt that, though, just because Emanuel Navarrete not only has the strength advantage, in my opinion, but has a 6-inch reach advantage, which I think is going to be a very interesting thing for Oscar Valdez to navigate. And Emanuel Navarrete also is just somebody who's relentless. Like, even though he doesn't look like he's in tip-top shape, he's somebody who is going to come at you for 12 rounds. He's going to turn this into a brawl as much as he can. Oscar Valdez, I think, is going to feed into that a little bit and give up some rounds in the process. But ultimately, Oscar Valdez, who has been dropped 4 times in his career, according to BoxRec, if he's able to withstand that, navigate that, counter punch successfully, and be able to really establish the body early on, I think he'll be able to box his way to a decision. That's plus 140. I found it at DraftKings. Other books in that plus 120s, plus 130 range. So you're still getting pretty good odds on that, what I think is the most likely bet. But I did look at Emanuel Navarrete by a stoppage, particularly by a late stoppage. So I may still buy into that as a hedge. I'll watch the first couple rounds in live bet also to see how this goes. But going into the fight, I felt like Oscar Valdez by decision was sort of the smart choice. And I'm going to lean on the boxing ability despite the physical disadvantages he may have.
Yeah, this one's a really interesting fight. I went back and forth on it a lot. I actually am just making my decision now because I think both of these guys have a really good chance to win. And when you take a look at Emanuel Navarrete, the way that Top Rank has been pushing him, now I'm not talking about conspiracies here, but do they want him to lose? I don't think so. Like the way that they have been pushing this guy, because you take a look at his characteristics and how good he is in the ring. Like he is relentless. He's going to walk you down. He's going to throw a lot of punches. His work rate is unreal. He gets hit a lot though. Like he gets hit a lot and his conditioning is a question, but he's so fun to watch. As for Oscar Valdez, we've seen what he could do. That knockout, and I'm still going to talk about it, against Miguel Berchelt is one of my favorite knockouts of all time. So when we talk about power, like he does have power, but I do give the power edge to Emanuel Navarrete. But Oscar Valdez is very skilled as well. And we saw him against Shakur Stevenson, and that was an L that he took, and he won his last fight against Adam Lopez, I think, by unanimous decision. But in this fight, I think we're going to see a different version of Oscar Valdez, because at this point, like, I don't think he wants another L on his record. And at the same time, like you talk about the length and the strength of Emanuel Navarrete, I think this is going to be a phone booth fight. I think these guys are going to be throwing a lot of punches, and they're both going to be getting hit a lot. Now, Emanuel Navarrete, when he fought Liam Wilson, got dropped in the 4th round. And we knew that that was going to happen at one point. And, you know, what he did is he showed us that he can fight through adversity. Ended up getting the knockout victory after he got dropped. And everyone was like, oh my God, Emanuel Navarrete is down. Like, they were shocked, right? Because they didn't think that would happen against a guy like Liam Wilson. And it did. And it's just because sometimes he just puts himself in dangerous positions and he takes a lot of hits. And we saw what Oscar Valdez did to Miguel Berchelt, right? You just need to land that one. And we know that Oscar Valdez, despite the fact that he's been down, we've seen him be resilient. So I'm taking a look at this fight. I'm taking a look at the attributes, and both of these guys are so fun to watch. But I'm going to roll with Oscar Valdez. And I know this is crazy, but I have him winning by knockout at plus 400. I think this is the fight where Emanuel Navarrete gets exposed, like really exposed for, you know, being careless defensively. And I think Oscar Valdez is going to make him pay. I know those odds are crazy, but I think this is the fight where Valdez gets the knockout. And I think there's some really good value there at plus 400.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
I looked at it long and hard, but I was like, I don't know. But that's something that I feel like if you're rolling like a decision either way, you can see how the first couple rounds play out. And if you see too many defensive rolls on either side, I think you could jump in and win by knockout, or bet the knockout rather for whoever you think is going to win. And I think the boxing specials that some of the sports books have, FanDuel in particular, if you look at some of those, I think you're actually going to get a couple that are realistic, that are these long shot sort of fun bets that you sprinkle a little bit on that actually might hit. There's a couple, a knockdown in any of rounds, basically 1 through 6 at plus 500.
Ooh,
I'm probably
yes.
For this fight, I think that's worth it. We've seen Emanuel Navarrete, as Shantelle mentioned, go down in round 4 to Liam Wilson, who is not Oscar Valdez. And Oscar Valdez has gone down a few times in his career. So I think that's something. And then you have like the other ones where it's like Oscar Valdez to win in round whatever to start, Emanuel Navarrete win and to win and whatever to start. Like, I think this is a fight that goes on for a while. I don't think this ends in the first 6 rounds. I think it's a war for a while. But I think if you're Oscar Valdez, you don't want it to be a war that much, because it's the unique fight where the guy with longer arms, who's bigger, also is going to fight, make it a phone booth fight. And Oscar Valdez is going to have to figure out a way to sort of make this last and drag it out, because he is probably going to come in the more conditioned athlete, in my opinion.
He definitely is. And we know how good Oscar Valdez's conditioning is. I think this is going to be a war, man. Whoever wins this fight will definitely earn it. I do think if it's a knockout, it's going to be in the later rounds, even 9 through 12. I would take a look at those odds as well. I don't think this is going to be an early one, but I do see both of them probably being dropped in this fight. Like, I'm not going to lie to you here. But I just think Emanuel Navarrete, he's so careless at times. So fun to watch. But I think this is the fight where I'm giving the edge to Valdez. So here at The Mandatory, we definitely want to know how you're going to be betting this fight. Are you rolling with Emanuel Navarrete, or are you rolling with Oscar Valdez? Let us know in the comments below. And I do want to say we had a little bit of a discussion during our live for Jake Paul and Nate Diaz that we were possibly going to be doing a live if we had enough people drop comments. We only had like 2, I think, one in the live, and then obviously one on one of our videos. But if there are lives that you want us to do, drop them in the comments, because the more comments that we get, we'll be able to do them. And we don't need like 100. Like, let's say a good number is like 10.
Yeah.
Right. So if you really, really want us to do a live for a fight that you're excited about, let us know. Drop some comments below, because, you know, if you want to do it, we'll definitely try to make it out for you.
Yeah.
All right. So
we're also both, we got busy this weekend anyway. So it's like, we probably wouldn't be able to do it. But yeah, in most cases, like Shantelle said, like, just let us know what you want from the show, and we'll try our best to sort of accommodate the people who've been with us since day one, because it's been
our day ones.
Yeah. We're coming up on 6 months now, and the channel's grown a lot, and we have a lot more fun stuff that we're planning on doing to grow it even further. And we're going to need you guys' help to do that. So definitely let us know what you'd like to see from us.
All right.